We're here today with a special guest. We have the Fire Marshal with us, Mike Evans. We're going to be talking a little bit about spring cleanup in your yard, some of those various concerns that homeowners have at this time of the year with outdoor fires, cleanup fires, what our ordinance requires of homeowners as far as outdoor burning, and also the use of barbecues and the new chimeneas, the outdoor burning instruments that you see at the Home Depots and the Lowe's. But before I get into that, I just want to explain our last episode. We talked about the next episode of House No.VI would be ice rescue that we were going to do at Island Lake. We had perfect plans for it. We had the camera crew scheduled. The ice was fine 1 week before we were supposed to film it. But you know Michigan weathers, and or Michigan winters, I should say. And we had a thaw that ended up completely eliminating all the ice at Island Lake, and we couldn't do our ice rescue training and have it filmed for this show. So we may end up doing open water rescue, and that may be one of the upcoming episodes. But before we get to that, I got just one of the things that I've been doing in some of the shows is talking about some of the historical things that happen in the fire service, the fire alarm boxes, some of the ways that we notify fire stations of fires. And one of the things that is really pertinent to us is turnout gear. And I know just since the 30 years since I've been in this business, turnout gear is drastically different than in the 70s when I first got what amounted to a black rubber, what looks like a raincoat, when I was paid on call with Farmington Hills Fire Department. The coats now are much, much different. They use a type of material called Nomex that will char and it will burn, but it will not catch fire. So if a flame is applied to it, it will turn color. It will start charring if the flame is left there, but when you pull the flame away, it will extinguish, so it won't catch on fire. But with that in mind, some of the problems that they had with turnout coats in the past that they've changed, and they're always updating and changing the standard, is, for instance, open spots. When someone dresses in turnout gear, there would always be an open spot at the wrist, an open spot between the helmet and the pulled up collar. And they have taken care of these with different things. One of them you can see in this sleeve of this fire coat. It's got a long gauntlet that hangs out. But when you put your arm through the sleeve of the coat, what happens is your hand goes through and you get this built-in protection that is also Nomex, so that when you put a glove on over this, your wrist is completely covered. This was an area that in the past, many years past, firefighters were always getting hot embers or ashes going between their glove and their coat and end up getting treated for burns. So that's one of the things that studies have shown and that they've incorporated into turnout gear safety requirements. Another thing that they do now is, I think we all know how pervasive Velcro is in just about everything we do, and even now firefighter coats use Velcro. We used to have hooks, they were called D-hooks. It had a hook on one side and a loop on the other, and it would hook through and hook the coat together, because buttons or clips or buttons or snaps would not hold that coat together during crawling and climbing and going up and down ladders and things like that. So they needed something that wouldn't come apart. What they found, though, in many years past was that if there was a problem or if the old pre-Nomex coats caught fire, they couldn't get them off the firefighter. So what they do now is they've got a zipper and it's also got Velcro. So you put this coat together with the zipper first. So you pull the zipper up, And then once that's done, you turn the Velcro flap over, the storm flap, and that makes a pretty watertight seal for the front of that coat. It also makes it in such a way that when the zipper is pulled all the way to the top, this coat can be opened up and taken off a firefighter's shoulders very quickly. And if I can get this zipper to go up all the way, I will show you how that works. Such that, why is this not working? It's easier to do when it's on, but I didn't want to. Okay, the other thing that's built into coats now in the back, and what would happen is firefighters would get hurt, or they'd be knocked unconscious, or they'd run out of air and go unconscious, and they had to be dragged out of a building or off a roof or whatever. And you would have to grab a firefighter under the armpits or grab him by his coat and basically just hold on with your hands. What's been built into the coats now is a hook on the back that you can grab and actually put your hand through and pull in such a way that inside of the coat is actually a harness that when you pull on this hook, it will not separate from the firefighter because of the harness that's inside and stitched to the coat. So when you grab this and pull, even a 200-pound firefighter or a firefighter that might even weigh more than that, you are going to get that person, because each of these loops inside goes under his arms, and you can pull that person actually in this turnout coat right out of the fire. So that's just a couple of the safety items that are now included on turnout gear, and that's why a normal set of turnout gear runs about $1,500 to $2,000 depending on the brand and depending upon what group bid we use. It's very expensive, but these days it's very high tech. It uses the best of safety equipment, newly developed safety equipment, because the standard is always being upgraded and changed. So we consider it very worthwhile because it does prevent injuries and keeps us as safe as we can be when we're using the turnout gear.